from the campus of Westfield State University. This is 89.5 FM, WSKB, Westfield. Support for the community programming of WSKB is provided by Westfield Bank. For more than 160 years, Westfield Bank has been an important community presence and commercial leader in the Pioneer Valley. With convenient full banking services in Westfield, West Springfield, East Longmeadow, Agawam, Feeding Hills, Springfield, Southwick, as well as Enfield and Granby, Connecticut, visit us on the web at westfieldbank.org.
Support for the community programming of WSKB is provided by Bay State Dental. Comprehensive dentistry at 14 convenient locations in Springfield, Chicopee, Longmeadow, West Springfield, Belchertown, East Longmeadow, Ludlow, Northampton, Greenfield, and Wilbraham, as well as 29 Broad Street in Westfield. Bay State Dental makes it a priority to help you achieve and maintain the healthy smile you deserve. On the web at baystatedental.com.
Morning. For once I was ready. It's Tuesday.
Was not.
No, I know that. And just before I am here in the studio. Oh, I'm Bob Plass, incidentally.
Hi, Bob.
Hi, and that voice is the trusty, dusty, lusty, musty, crusty sidekick, JPEG Luca, and well modulated. And you are suffering from allergies.
Yeah.
I have returned to the studio. Yeah. I've returned to the studio, my pot belly and all of a sudden, Jay goes into a sneezing fit.
I was turned the other way.
You were very, very conscious of this. But
it's so dry out, the allergies are brutal.
Oh, my God. So
brutal.
I was thinking, maybe could
try
I
it without the headphones, Bob.
Does it go around the headphones?
No.
Actually, yeah.
Oh, and here's the
thing.
You
got to put it underneath the headphones, Bob.
Well,
I've learned
remember
this.
how I said...
No, see, he snapped it. It's going to snap.
It snapped.
It's like those old Halloween masks that you used to try and put them on.
With the crappy rubber bands?
And wacky in the nose.
Yes, exactly right. This is the $30 box of...
You need the Darth Vader mask that I got for like $18.
This is the $30 box that I got from the Big Y. And they sell them in Stop and Shop and all those as well. But it's the $30 box. It's like the umbrellas. I keep saying it. Like the umbrellas in New York City.
Yeah, the $10 umbrella when it's raining. Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
It's good till the first stiff breeze comes by.
Oh, my God. My God. My God. Well, so anyway, I even got here 5 minutes early today.
I was impressed.
Yeah, really. Were you worried that I wasn't going to bring coffee, that I'd gotten out of that habit?
Why? No, Bob.
No.
We were waiting with bated breath at the end of the road.
Yeah. Peter convinced me to come in, and it was safe, and then you sneezed, and now I'm all at Twitter. No, I'm not at all. But at any rate, I hope you guys are well. I hope you're enduring, and I hope that things will get better. Those are my wishes today. I am in a Michelle Obama semi-state of depression.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, how come?
Yeah. Well, I am. I mean, I'm chronically
I
depressed.
didn't know Michelle was depressed. What happened there?
No, she was just saying that because of the state of the world, she was she was having a low grade depression. But I really have been noticing that there is this feeling. I don't know if you've got that feeling sometimes of
Impending doom.
Oh God, impending doom.
No.
No. Well, I do. It's sort of like anxiety from not having a future as clear. Now we've always had we've always lived with the idea that the future is not as clear as we would like it to be. Is that right?
That's the definition of the future, Bob.
It really is. I
think
mean,
about it.
It's not true. It is true. Yeah.
It's not as bad as it has been in the past. Think about, and I'll go back to when I was a kid.
Give me a time, please.
The Cuban Missile Crisis.
Oh yeah. Okay.
All right?
Oh
There's
my God. Yeah.
I mean, and people don't. People that are much younger than I probably don't even know what I'm talking about. But in the early '60s, the short version is during the Cold War, Kennedy and Khrushchev, the guy on the other side of the world in Russia.
Yeah.
He had put missiles in Cuba, just like literally minutes away from. The
15
U.S.
minutes from the homeland
by air, by ballistic missile, and they were tipped with nuclear warheads, and we were literally at the brink of annihilation, at least on the East Coast, and that was a real threat. That was really, really scary.
Sure.
And it wasn't long before that we as kids, and you would have remembered this, Bob, is duck and cover.
Civil War. No.
Not that
duck and cover.
quite that
Duck
far
and
back.
cover.
Remember
Oh,
duck and cover?
I had it even. I don't think we used the words. I think that might have been a little later. Mine was going into the basement of the Glenwood School.
Yep.
And I would lean on the wall, and then somebody else would lean behind me, and we would put our hands at the back of our heads. And
No, I think that was something different in the north end of Hartford when you were being arrested, Bob.
It was that's right. That's right. It was a car. It wasn't the wall at the school.
But now I want to know more.
Yeah, my criminal behavior. I could talk about that for at least 10 minutes.
But duck and cover was a code thing. It was a kind of a catchphrase they had. If you remember, there was the commercial on TV in the late 50s with the little turtle that would that was the symbol at the time. But they showed roomfuls of kids, school kids, getting under their desks.
Under the desks.
Now, if you think about it,
Jay.
yeah,
I did a jingle on that once. Oh no, what is it? Hold on. Where's my duck and cover?
I don't know where
I have
your
a duck
duck
and cover
cover.
thing.
You do?
Yeah, well, find it in a minute, and let me finish the story.
Yeah.
Okay.
So if you know today what people see as videos of nuclear war, getting under a desk is not going to help much. In fact, somebody on TV just recently, one of the news channels, had a woman on the channel, and they're talking about how to safely. Oh, it was during the hurricane. Save yourself. Get under a stool. I said, really?
Under a stool.
But that was the kind of ridiculousness it sounded like at the time.
Yeah.
If a nuke goes off anywhere in the neighborhood, you're done. That's it. You're done.
Except for those folks.
The only thing that survive are will be this.
Oh my God! There's a damn fly again.
That's the only thing that will survive.
It will be. That's the last sound you will hear as they put my coffin into the ground.
Yeah, flies, cockroaches, and Twinkies are the only things that are going to be
All right, I found
around.
it.
Yeah.
You're listening to AtomicRadio.us.
Yeah, there it is. That was the duck and cover jingle. Yeah.
Yeah, but that sound just brought me right back to my childhood.
Oh, and the siren.
Siren.
I remember in where I grew up in Connecticut, that was every noontime. where I lived, I could hear
Every day?
sirens in all the surrounding towns, and it was scary if you didn't know what it was.
Oh,
but at
yeah.
noon, every day, all
I
of
think it
those
was right,
sirens
Peter.
would
See,
fire
I
up.
remember when I was a kid, every day on Friday, you'd hear all the horns going off.
Yeah. No, this was
daily?
This was a regular thing.
Yeah, every day.
in the 50s. I remember the discussion as to whether we would build a nuclear
Fallout
bunker?
bomb shelter.
A
bomb
bunker.
shelter in
Yeah.
our backyard.
That was a big deal. Is people were set. That was as common as masks are today.
Yeah,
Buy your
yeah.
bulk mask. Here, build a fallout shelter, bomb shelter under your home.
Yeah.
And then there were movies saying, well, if you have one of these, everybody's going to try and break in because they know you have one of these.
Then you
So
They're still good for the zombie apocalypse.
it was okay.
Would they work?
Would
would
they?
they?
Yes, actually, they would.
Yeah,
They would work.
they still sell them today.
Yeah, you can
get,
still buy them.
You can get
No.
prefab. They come in, dig a hole in your backyard, and drop in a bomb shelter.
You're
Yep.
kidding.
Yeah.
Yep,
they'll
and
do
they
that.
give you they put access
my
up to
God.
the top.
I'd view it as a grandmother house, or grandmother room, or something, or grandfather room.
Some of
You
them
know,
are walk-in
that's where
style,
My,
some of
my
them are-
kids would put me.
That's
Like,
what.
yeah. You're gonna come live with us. You'll live in the bomb shelter.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, good think about it. That was pretty well stocked.
That's right. Well, they do sell on QVC, which I've incidentally just discovered back. I found it on my television. I didn't have it for a while.
Oh, you're happy now.
Oh,
just
my
changed the
God.
channel, Bob.
Oh yeah, I know. No, but QVC, I use that as a time waster. A time waster. That voice, incidentally, is Peter Coles, the kitten of the Keys, our great producer. There
You
we
also
are.
use it as a wallet waster too.
Yes.
Oh man, but they
Yeah,
sell.
leave your credit card in your wallet.
Yeah, they're selling a month's worth of supplies that are dehydrated supplies.
Oh, and they'll last for like 10 years or
Yes,
some such
yeah.
thing. Yeah.
And they come in a box that's safe and sound or whatever, and it's like one of those. Who's the woman
Are
that?
you kidding me?
No, they're selling those. I've seen them time and time again.
Go online and look for disaster supplies. And
Yeah.
there's a few companies that sell them.
I mean, I have stuff. Because I did emergency management, but still do technically.
Yes, yeah.
But you should keep enough canned goods for at least 2 weeks.
Oh God, I don't think I haven't. Maybe I do have enough.
I have enough soups for a week and a half, things like that, so I can exist.
I ran out of baked beans. We panicked this week.
Oh yeah. I know I have one baked beans, but I have a lot of cannelloni beans.
See, I don't eat
like
baked
those
beans.
kind of those kind of chickpea thing.
Yeah.
Kind of thing.
Yeah.
I'm gassy enough as it is. I
Yeah.
don't need baked beans.
But you have to bring those down into the cellar. Let's suppose the tornado, which, when I grew up, we never worried about tornadoes. Ever worried. Ever.
of course, there was a Worcester tornado in the 50s that wiped out half the city. But,
Yeah, no, I know.
It's
but
not
somehow
like they
or
were
other, it
never
was
here, but
I don't-
instant news today.
yeah, they weren't publicized.
Yeah, instant
were.
news
Oh.
today. We know if there's one anywhere in the Northeast.
Oh my God!
Now-
you know what street it's on?
Yeah,
Just
exactly.
Now they've pinpointed.
So back then, they had a big wind in Worcester.
Mm.
And maybe a week
Right.
later, somebody will figure out, that probably was a tornado.
Yeah. See, I grew up without that fear. I always thought that was out west somewhere in Kansas.
See,
We were better off when we were kids because you didn't know.
Yeah, you probably
Yeah,
were.
we were probably better off.
We were far better
Yeah.
off.
And I grew up just wishing for the huge snowstorm so I wouldn't have to go to school tomorrow. That was
Gotcha.
we
Don't
we would pray for big snow.
No, yeah,
You know.
oh yeah. And there was nothing more disappointing than to go to bed expecting that
And not
wake up
having anything
and
in the morning.
nothing, and you'd say, "What?" And even as a teacher in the school system, when
Oh
I was
yeah,
teaching,
you're
and I
even
go,
hoping. a
Oh
little
my God, we were hoping and praying, and you really want that, and it would never. And when you come down to think about it, that's a disaster in a way. I mean, I want it to snow, and I want it to snow for days, so I don't have to go to school.
Well,
I mean, we don't.
The biggest snow I had, we were in elementary school, would have been mid 60s, and it was a huge snow in southern New England, and the schools were closed for a whole week, and that was a big deal.
Oh gosh, I don't. I might have been I was at Holy Cross, so I don't. I was up on that hill.
Yeah, up in Worcester.
In my dorm during that early but the most of the 60s.
Yeah, this would have been in Hartford area, southern New
Yeah.
England. But it was cool. And of course me, by then I had an old Boland's tractor with a snowblower on the front of it, and I was raking in the bucks. I delivered papers when I was like 10 years old, until I was like 15. For 5 years, I delivered the Hartford Courant, made a bundle.
Oh,
and we delivered. I mean, that was you
really
delivered
classy.
a lot of
You were classy.
a lot of papers.
I was delivering the remind. No, it wasn't the reminder. It was the penny saver, but it wasn't even called a penny saver back then.
It was a weekly or a daily?
It was a monthly.
monthly.
A weekly thing that came out with sales of coupons and stuff.
In the back of comic books, I can remember we used to have. There was an advertisement: "Sell grit." And it was, just
oh my God, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it was right next to the ad for the X-ray vision glasses. So it was, but it was amazing stuff you'd find in the back of comic. I wonder if that stuff is still in the back of comic books today. Do they still do that?
God, I haven't even, I haven't. When's the last time you bought? Well, maybe.
When's the last time I bought a comic book?
I haven't bought a comic book,
Yeah.
and people buy comic books all the time.
Oh, it's still there,
it's a big business.
Yeah,
isn't it?
absolutely.
Yeah. Well, the interesting thing about all those disaster kind of things is that you could say, okay, it's a hurricane. Oh, now when you suddenly say, oh, there is this virus, that this is a different kind of disaster.
There's two problems with it.
Still natural.
Number one,
Still natural.
You can't see it. You don't know. Did I just sneeze and spread it all over the school? Okay?
Yeah.
You don't know.
No, you don't. No.
And then second is because you don't know, there's a whole lot of people that don't think it exists and they don't wear their masks and they don't, so they're not practicing the social distancing
That's a fault of the education system.
we still see people walking around.
It is.
And they don't think.
No.
Well, it's people that don't believe.
Oh,
okay.
I've got the perfect story.
So
for
let's be conservative, and that's my take on it.
So I had to go to Michael's, the art crafts.
Yeah, that's a cool place.
Yeah, it's lovely. I had to go. We can talk about it later. I'm making scarecrows, so I go to Michael's and I put my mask on and I'm walking through there and there's a woman with her daughter. Now the daughter's got the mask in the right way. The woman has the mask totally off, and walking through the store.
Or the ones with the nose is showing.
Oh, the nose. Oh, yeah. Oh, no. That's really prevalent, and I don't say anything about that, even though I should. But this was bugging the hell out of me, and so I passed her by, and I said, "Ma'am, would you mind, please, put your mask up?" And she gave me this terrible look.
The look.
And she put the mask up, but she put it directly, like not over her nose, like just a little bit under, and gave me a shake of the head and walked off with her daughter. Okay, I go.
You shamed her.
I go. Yes. I don't
You
know whether
Karen,
I
you.
No. Yeah, she was stalking me through the entire store.
Was she really?
Oh my God! And I go to the register, and I'm 6 feet. They have the thing on the floor, and it's all very safe and everything. And I'm going, and I'm looking over, and near the door where you exit and enter is the woman standing there with her thing down, totally, talking on a phone and looking at me. And I start, after I did my business, I thought that I was going to go over and say something, and I start to go over, and I look, and on her t-shirt, it says, "This is all bull sh," et cetera. And I thought, this is not a woman that I wanted. She is tempting. This is lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from.
You know what I
evil.
would walk by and say to her?
Yeah.
Thank you for saving my life.
Yeah.
And then walk away.
I should.
Oh my God, that would just floor
and
kill any argument you could think you had. Thank you for saving my life. Imagine Imagine how crappy you'd feel if you weren't wearing your mask and somebody walked by and said that to you.
Oh no, it's exactly right. No, it's
that's
true.
how
Peter, that's a really good one.
That's how you defeat ignorance.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying some people, because here's the thing. We've grown into a culture where if it doesn't affect me,
Yes.
me,
No.
then it doesn't affect the rest of the world, you see? So we've fostered that culture, the me culture, and now it's coming back to bite us when we need to have we instead of me.
Yeah.
Some of us still think we instead of me.
No, we need to think we instead
I know,
of
but
me.
I'm telling you, there's a lot of people out
that,
there
that say me.
that get lost in their phones and
no,
these
no.
things that are just me.
Yeah.
Those are the people that are disregarding things when they go to a protest. Those are the Karens who won't wear. I heard this on Greg Hill coming in. Some woman screaming at a supermarket, I don't have to. She's going off and fat shaming a woman. I'm like, okay, really? It's not all about you there, Karen.
No.
It's
exactly.
about we. It's not about me.
That's exactly true.
Coming from a conservative, Bob.
I hear you. I'm pleased, and in fact, when we,
but it's not. That's not.
If I remember this, when we come back,
thing.
remind me. We're going to take a break, and I'm going to play a song. But when we come back, remind me about Karen because I have a special thing that I found about a dilemma that some people are facing about Karen, and I'll tell you about it when we return. Hey, the Wisconsin music director, our great friend Christian Homan, sent me the beginnings of a theme. I got a wonderful song by a woman named Joan Shelley, Shelley, Joan Shelley. She's a Louisville, Kentucky singer-songwriter, and he thought this was very appropriate for the times. So we are going to play all female vocalists today, and you won't believe who I'm going to play a little later. Joan Shelley, this is from her album Live at the Bombard, which is the Kentucky Center for the Performing Arts, and it's called The Fading, Fading. Joan Shelley.
Spring, remember the taste of gin, eye that light upon our skin. Your form it lingers, trace just where you've been. The songs we sang, I'll sing again. When it breaks down, oh babe, let's try to see the beauty in all the fading. I saw the river, thick with mud, break through the banks and run. And I confess I liked it. I cheered the flood when the water hit the walls and won. When it breaks down, no babe, let's try to see the beauty in all the fading. Roads are endless, they seem to grow, vines that wind around the world. And though I hate it to leave my home, I love that car when I need to go. When it breaks down, babe, let's try to see the beauty in all the fading. Kentucky stays in my mind. It's sweet to be 5 years behind. That's where I'll be when the seas rise, holding my dear friends and drinking wine. When it breaks down, babe, let's try to see the beauty in all the fading. When it breaks down, when the stakes get high, to see the beauty in all the fading.
Support for community radio on WSKB is provided by Betts Plumbing and Heating Supply Company, an independent, family-owned wholesaler serving Westfield for over 50 years, specializing in plumbing, heating, and industrial piping supplies. On the web at bettsplumbing.com or at 14 Coleman Avenue in Westfield.
Hi, it's Bob Plass, and I have Wow, It's Tuesday every Tuesday, 6 to 8. Wow, it's Tuesday.
Community Radio.
89.5 WSKB.
I did it!
Live from Studio 120 at Westfield Technical Academy, this is WCPC Channel 15 and 89.5 FM, WSKB Westfield.
We'll talk. Wow, it is Tuesday morning. Thank you, Peter.
He's waving frantically on the other side of the glass because we're not paying attention.
I just used the command voice.
We're just catching up here, and
isn't it nice being actually in studio where you can talk in the breaks?
Well, it's nice to yes be related.
Wait, excuse me for a minute.
Cough and sneeze.
Excuse me.
Yeah, but
Jay, that's not nice.
Cough and sneeze, is that like duck and cover?
No.
Oh,
no. Is it like swish and swallow? Swish and swallow.
Yeah, that was something to do with brushing your teeth. I think.
It is swish
okay.
and swallow. We'll have to ask the doctor about.
Yes. Do they
is it swish and spit? Isn't it?
Yeah.
It's not swish and swallow.
Right. Swish.
You don't want to. Yeah, you don't want to swallow.
No, you don't want to swallow because it might have little bits of tooth in it.
We used to have a restaurant. I don't know if you ever went in New York City. It was a great one. Made up. They had every kind of piece of pottery or plate. Everything was mismatched, but it was called Chat and Chew.
Oh, okay.
And I used to call it Swish and Swallow.
Oh, no.
And now that I think about it, I was referring to my dental misconception because I was thinking of swish and then you swallow. It's not. It's swish and spit.
Swish and
but
spit.
That I don't.
Rinse and spit.
Rinse and spit.
Right.
We'll have to.
Because you take a little sip of your water and then you sip in the little and you spit in the little bowl with the spinning water.
Oh yeah, I hate that.
Hey, listen, wanted to.
Please.
Just wanted to mention we had a concert coming up at the end of the month, a drive-in concert, and due to the
Gaslight Entertainment.
Yeah, due to the recent order by Governor Baker. Although it is a gray area with drive-ins, I think movies are still cool. The concert idea was, I suppose we could have done it.
Did you talk to Joe Rouse about it?
We decided to cancel this thing. And basically, it's due to the governor's recent order to further limit both indoor and outdoor gatherings. Gaslight Entertainment has canceled their planned drive-in concert scheduled for August 29th here in town. So if anybody has already purchased tickets, if you purchased them at Purple Pass, we're going to refund those automatically. I know a few bought them down at Rockies here in Westfield. You can get a refund right there at Rockies. So just bring your ticket down there. We really are sorry to have to do this,
God.
but
I wonder because they're limiting gatherings, outside gatherings, to 50 people to begin with.
Yeah.
And
couldn't you tell everybody just to stay in their cars?
Yes, but
now you're limiting gatherings to 4.
No, the problem is, it's an abundance of caution. We just didn't want to put people in that position. Now, drive-in movies, people tend to stay in their car. That's the style of the movie. The concerts that I've been to, people tend to wander around. They're a little looser about. And I'm not saying it's good or bad.
No.
They're not being good or bad, but it's a little more difficult. The culture is a little more difficult to control because people want to go and visit their friends and things like that. So the drive-in movies we've been doing with the Boys and Girls Club, people just tend to stay in or with their cars, and that was the intent of the concert, and we were going to have to monitor that, and we were going to but we didn't want to risk creating a problem anywhere.
Yeah.
So this was the conservative. It was, it was better to be conservative here, and for the betterment of the community. We just didn't want to risk it.
I noticed there was an article in the Westfield News last night about or was it 2 nights ago, about the drive-in movies in Southwick. and they are still going on, but there is a provision that says you stay in your car, and if you want to go to the concession stand, you put your mask on, and you can go to the concession stand.
Right.
They're doing American Graffiti, I think, sometime this weekend.
It's the 15th, I believe.
Is that the one over at the track with the old cars?
Yeah.
They're doing it both at the track and at the Westfield River Brewing.
Oh, wild.
Okay, cool.
And we have...
And I think at Wally
and
Park,
the Boys
too.
and Girls Club, and Bo Sullivan emailed me yesterday. The film this week, and I'll put it on Facebook, is Frozen 2, the wonderful Disney movie.
That's a good one.
And that's a really top-notch family film. And supposedly that is happening, and I think it's happening this weekend. If you check the papers or call the boy, you have to call anyway for a reservation.
Yeah, go to the Boys and Girls Club website for more information on that. And of course, you can call over there. That's what I would recommend because you want to make reservations. Again, for safety reasons, they're limiting the number of vehicles that are going to be let back in there.
That's right. That's exactly right. But Frozen 2 is the movie happening this weekend. I just happened to see it a couple of weeks ago, and even for adults, it's a cool movie. Oh, it's a great. That's the movie. I mean, remember this? That was the movie that I have to ask James. Could you explain that part of the movie, because I missed the plot somewhere. Missed the plot of a cartoon.
What? How come it was frozen? Because it was in the cold part of the world.
Well, there is the little snowman. It's in the springtime, but he has permafrost.
Isn't he Olaf?
Olaf. I love him. Oh, I love him. All right.
I've never seen the movie, and I know the characters.
Oh, yeah. Oh, my God, yeah. John Gad, I think, is the character, or the actor. He's very funny, very funny. Hey, so get this. According to the New York Times, according to the census data, there are more than 1 million women named Karen in the United States.
Yeah, so stop annoying the Karens.
Okay, so then there's this P's and Q's, social cues it's called. It's the column where you find out whether you're doing...
Watch your P's and Q's.
There's more than one Karen not named Karen.
What are P's and Q's?
Yeah, right. Okay, so wait a minute. I'm going to take this out.
Right. Don't go there yet. What are P's and Q's?
Geez, now that you think about it,
people say watch your P's and Q's. There's politically correctness, but that's P's and C's. What's a P and what are
question?
They say watch your P's and Q's. Now, granted, that was from 50 years ago. I didn't know they still use
mind
the
your
term.
P's and Q's is an English language expression meaning mind your manners, mind your language, be on your best behavior, watch what you're doing.
Right.
But what are the two? What is a P and
Attempts
what is
to
a Q?
explain the origin of the phrase go back to the mid-19th century. One explanation favored a letter to the editors of Notes and Queries dated 1851.
What is
the
that?
literal interpretation
What
of the
inquiries?
saying.
Notes
and Queries.
That's an N. That's not a P.
Is a literal interpretation of the saying regarding the lowercase letters P and Q in the context of schoolroom or typesetting in the print office.
Still haven't defined it. What's a P and what's a Q?
This is given a common suggestion by the 2007 revision of the Oxford Dictionary, but the OED considers the explanation unlikely since the chronology of the census would argue against this. No such connotation is evidence. The earliest quotations says it's this whole article.
You still haven't explained what's a P and what's a Q.
Could it be please and quite honestly, you got to do this. But maybe there's a P.
It's
P and
supposedly about learning the alphabet.
P and Q. P follows Q. If you do this, you have to do that. How about that? Would that work?
It's still
here we
no
go.
P and Q.
The first poem, the first reference is in a poem by Charles Churchill, published in 1763. On all occasions next the chair, he stands for service of the mayor, and instruct him how to use his A's, B's, P's, and Q's. This conclusion must be the true origin.
But what's a P and what's a Q, and why is
it?
No. It's about you. He was being instructed by somebody what to do about the A's and B's and the P's and the Q's. And so, in other words...
When pupils are taught to write the lowercase alphabet, the positioning of the vertical line before or after the circle represented the different letters D, B, P, and Q. Pupils also had to mind the placement of the letters when writing the alphabet, e.g., example, P becomes before Q, as noted by W. So it's more about writing the alphabet than it is about...
Oh, yeah. And I never realized this. Did you ever realize that a P was a reversed Q?
Well, yeah, I always knew that.
I never knew that.
Here's
the
better,
lines on the other side.
Jay, here's the better explanation. English pubs, bartenders would keep a watch on the alcohol consumption of the patrons, keeping an eye on the pints and quarts that were consumed.
There we go.
As a reminder to the patrons,
That's
the
it.
bartender would recommend they mind their P's and Q's.
There we
are.
All
That's
right,
it.
it's about
Wait,
time
wait,
you got
no.
to one that we'd understand.
That's exactly
I
what
like
it
both
is.
one, the educational one and the bartender one.
Yeah.
But, yeah, you're right. Watch your P's and Q's.
That's
It's which
it.
side is the vertical line on?
I got
Okay.
it. So get this. So there's the P's and Q's column. Now I'll put the microphone down or the ear muff.
The
What do you call
earmuff?
this? The ear muff. What do you call these things I've got there?
Headphones.
Headphones. Oh, geez. Okay.
There's your educational bit for the
Thank you.
morning.
Yes. Okay. So social cues. Okay. Here it is. This is by a woman named Karen who wrote in with a problem. She says, I am one of the many women who now find our name used as an insult or shorthand for an obnoxiously entitled, occasionally racist creature who demands to speak to the manager or calls the police for no good reason. I know this is not the biggest problem, but it really hurts me, especially since I try not to exhibit the behaviors associated with the insult. How should I respond when I hear someone being called a Karen? Do I ignore it, defend myself, or change my name?
If you don't
What do you
act like a
think?
Karen, you won't be called the Karen.
Use your middle name.
If you're not a Karen.
I'd said this off the air. When I was much younger, Marion, much younger, I had a girlfriend named Karen. I liked her a lot. And it annoys me because now I'm not supposed to like her because she's a Karen. No, come on.
No, you don't like it's not about the name, it's about the attitude.
Okay.
Oh yeah,
But,
the name has been hijacked actually.
Yeah,
and what
that's a good description.
Peter Piper picked a repeat. My name's been hijacked for decades.
Peter Piper picked a peck of pickled
Right,
peppers.
exactly.
If Peter Piper picked a peck of pickled peppers,
No,
how many pickled peppers did Peter Piper pick?
And Peter,
How about repeat?
Oh, that's true. That's true. But Bob, I'm a Bob, and that doesn't ring well either.
Could be worse. You
So
could have
here's
been
what
named-
the expert says.
Neil.
It's not personal at all, unlike the recent misogynist attack on a congresswoman by a male colleague, or the racist slurs and dog whistles applied to Black Lives Matter protesters. Those are instances of direct abuse. Now, I object to the sexism of the meme. It's no coincidence that Karen's male counterpart, Ken, never really caught on. An angry white man is just a man. And I hate to think of you feeling bad. So the next time you hear the insult, say, I know it's catchy, but it hurts my feelings. Can you call out the bad behavior without using my name? Keep in mind, memes fade fast, which remember Becky? Was Becky anybody?
Kenny, if you watch Ken's Den on a regular basis, he's been through all the nicknames.
Oh, really? Oh.
Yes, he did a whole rant on it.
Right. So the bottom line is just be glad you weren't born a Richard.
I'm not even going to tell you what that's long for. At any rate, bye. Wait a minute. I'm going to play another song here. Listen,
It helps if you wear a
I
headphone once
love Besame Mucho. This is a really great song, and it's played by a group of mariachi. Mariachi. But this is an amazing group. It's made up of all women. An all-women mariachi group called Mariachi Flor de Toloche.
Which one is named Achi? So I know which one to marry. Sorry.
Well, let's hear them do Besame Mucho, which means kiss me much, I think. Here we go.
bésame mucho, como si fuera esta noche la última vez. Bésame mucho, tengo miedo tenerte, perderte después. Bésame, bésame mucho, como si fuera esta noche la última vez. Bésame, bésame mucho, que tengo miedo tenerte, perderte después. Quiero tenerte muy cerca, mirarme en tus ojos, verte junto a mí. Piensa que tal vez mañana yo ya estaré lejos, muy lejos de ti. Bésame, bésame mucho. Each time I cling to your kiss, I hear music divine. Bésame, bésame mucho. Hold me, my darling, and say that you'll always be mine. Bésame, bésame mucho, como si fuera esta noche la última vez. Bésame, bésame mucho, que tengo miedo tenerte, perderte después. Bésame, bésame mucho. Love me forever and make all my dreams come true. Bésame, bésame mucho, que tengo miedo tenerte and never see you again.
Support for the community programming of WSKB is provided by the Dunkin' Donut Shops of Westfield and the Sardinia family. It's nice to know that even as the world changes, Dunkin' Coffee remains the same at 7 convenient locations throughout Westfield.
Underwriting support for the community programming of WSKB is provided by the Greater Westfield Chamber of Commerce, the voice of business for the Greater Westfield communities. Informing, educating, advocating, the Chamber provides opportunities for members to make meaningful connections on local, regional, and state levels. For more information on the Chamber's many events, workshops, and programs, as well as the benefits of membership, visit westfieldbiz.org. The Chamber focuses on the most important economy, yours.
Join us every Thursday morning
from 6 until at least 7:30.
Check out the Bobby G and Company Show
right here on WSKB 89.5
Community Radio.
89.5 WSKB.
Live from Studio 120 at Westfield Technical Academy, this is WCPC Channel 15 at 89.5 FM, WSKB Westfield.
Wow, it is Tuesday morning. My name is Bob Plass. I am here with the kitten of the keys. Yeah, Peter
Hey, can I promote a show for Thursday?
Pardon?
Can I promote a show for Thursday?
Of course you can. And then we'll talk to the cat maker there.
Superintendent Spotlight will be back on Thursday morning at 8 o'clock.
Ah, cool.
Hosted by Harry Rock. And guest will be Superintendent Zaporowski and Sue Tarji, the Director of Curriculum. They're going to talk about the vote that the school committee took on how to come back to school.
Ah, and you were recording
4
that or
hours
did it last year?
of it.
That's
night.
then that answers that question.
4
Can you give us a
hours of
preview
debate.
of what their decisions were?
So the decision was to come back in a remote learning, sort of. It's
Wait a minute.
It's a hybrid. So what they're going to do is it's going to be phased in. So initially, students here at Westfield Technical Academy need to come back because they need to be in their shops and doing hands-on work. So when they have a shop week, which is alternating, so 1 week it's juniors and freshmen,
right,
or seniors and freshmen, 1 week it's sophomore, juniors. So on a week where they're in academics, they will be at home learning. On a week where they have a shop, they will be in here in shop. So that applies to this school only. That is phase 1A.
Okay.
Phase
so Westfield Technical Academy shops
will be the only people going to a school building.
Gotcha.
Phase 1B is to bring back English language learners and special education students who need more than they can get on a homeschooling setting.
That's a smart thing.
That's
yes.
1B.
What's 1B? Okay.
1C.
Well, how much time between each?
It's gonna be as conditions warrant. There's no time scale for them.
Okay.
They were talking about 2 weeks, but if things change, they're willing to revisit. The school committee said in their thing last night that they're gonna have to take a vote every time they change phase. So they want to take a vote and debate it and bring Joe Rouse answered questions for over 45 minutes last night.
My gosh.
And a lot of the questions were very good, very pointed stuff
Right.
he's been wrestling with.
Right.
And he said, "Listen, I'm not thrilled about telling you guys that I recommend that we should be remote learning because I have kids too. I have kids in the school system." So he said, "It's not like I don't have a dog in the hunt here."
Yeah. Yeah.
He
so
said,
okay.
I wrestled with this.
So Pete, so you said phase 1A or
1A, yep, 1A. That's what
then
they called
1B.
it.
So what would 1C be?
1C would be opening early childhood, Fort Meadow, and the kindergartens.
Okay.
So what's
Gotcha.
going to happen effectively is that the only building in the district that'll be open right off the bat is Westfield Technical Academy, and only the shops. That's
Gotcha.
it.
Gotcha. Not the English classes or anything.
Not into
like
the classrooms because, frankly, Principal Langoni, Joe said last night, he goes, "I don't have enough classroom space to socially distance students and make that educational piece happen." He goes, "The classrooms are too small upstairs. They just are."
Yeah, you can't 6 feet away from the next student. I
Even
get it.
3 feet, which is
3
what
feet.
is what DESE is recommending. The Department of Elementary and Secondary Education, DESE, is recommending 3 feet with masks.
Okay, so then that would be. Is there a phase 1D?
No, there'll be after that is phase 2, and they went through all of that. If you want to look on Vimeo, the whole school committee meeting is up online, and I'm going to air it at different blocks, prime time and stuff like that throughout
Sure.
the weekend.
Sure.
So people can really get a sense. And I think I'm going to put this meeting for once up on the YouTube channel.
Mm-hmm.
Because it's that important.
It's important for
important.
parents, because parents then have to make the decision or figure out, how do I go back to work if indeed I have to go back? If do I have to continue to work from home? Are they going to have hybrid English classes or other? Are the kids going to learn online? Classes?
So the way they outline it, and there's a whole slide presentation, and they discussed it at the meeting. I may pull out just the slide presentation. I got a little bit of editing to do this afternoon.
Sure.
I may pull out just the slide presentation where they present the back to school plan, which has been modified with that one ABC thing. But they go into very detail about how it's going to work, and it's just too much for me to explain in a short period of time.
I understand, sure.
Sure. But you will have to report at regular class times. It's not going to be like last spring where was kind of like, well, if you want to show up, here are your assignments. No, the teachers will be actually teaching in Google Hangouts.
So
that's what they call it. And
I see.
That aligns very well with their curriculum. There's other tools that they're talking about.
It's a really interesting thing, because I just got a letter from Holy Cross, my alma mater, explaining why they're doing virtual learning.
Mount Holyoke's not coming back either.
Oh no, Holyoke
Mount
Holyoke Smith, UMass. It seems that there are certain systems that aren't coming back.
Well, I think you're going to find that most of them won't be coming back. I mean, Mount Holyoke has a couple students that are really heavy into the sciences that may come back.
Yes.
There's some international students that couldn't go home.
Yep. That's right.
And
there are some,
like
my cousin's a biologist major or something at Harvard that are doing research on something, really.
Right, and we had students all summer that were still working on research projects. There wasn't many of them. I think it was under 50.
Sure.
But we may not get more than 150 on campus.
So it's an interesting thing, because Westfield State right now is the folks are coming back, I think, the week after next.
I think you're going to find that's going to go away, too.
I wonder,
I think that's going to be mandated by the
everything's
state.
being modified. And and even the immediate effect of this most recent announcement by the governor, I see it on the business side, because we were, in my real job where I work on office equipment, and my team does across not only Massachusetts but throughout much of the Northeast. The call rate has been steadily growing in June and in July, and really it really started to peak, and we're expecting, okay, good, schools are going to open, there's still going to be printing that needs to be done. Well, the governor announced the new direction and the caution. Well, everybody that was starting to go to their place of business, they're all staying back home again. My call rate dropped in half in just days. So, that's my little, what's the term? Bellwether. That's how I measure the state of the business and people going to work. And yesterday I drove into Boston at rush hour at the speed limit down the turnpike. It's
gosh. Oh my
so
God, sure.
Yeah, and it's been getting busier too.
Sure.
But all of a sudden this week, based on, and I've got to base it on what the governor asked us to do. Thank you, everyone, for staying home.
Yeah.
But, it's frustrating. It really is. We thought business was starting to come back, but, hey, I'd rather be safe. I'd rather be safe.
Yeah, no, and alive. And really,
that's a good thing too.
That's nice. That's nice. Hey, anything more that you're going to be going off here in 7 minutes to do your daily work?
Well, yeah, I'm just updating notes here at the real job. It's nice to be. Technology allows me to multitask. I love this.
Gosh, yeah.
Which is why I've been here for how many years we've been doing this. So
yeah, and your sidekick doesn't mind it when you're off helping somebody in Natick while we're talking about some inane subject or whatever.
Hey, Bob, something very interesting in my little vacation to the Cape.
I noticed
a lot of plates from New York and New Jersey. And I had lunch with Danny Knappich while I was down there because I was in his town.
Oh, how is and
Former Mayor Dan Knappich.
Yes,
Who-
now
who
town
was-
administrator of Yarmouth.
who was instrumental in making what we do happen, by the way.
Oh, my God, yes.
So thank you to
Yeah,
Dan.
Westfield on Weekends wouldn't be here without the support of somebody like Dan Knappich.
Neither would
or
community
Rick
radio.
Yeah, the radio,
Or
what we
community
do
radio.
here. Yeah,
Oh,
that's
no,
what I
he
meant.
wouldn't. Oh, no, it's
Yeah.
exactly right.
So I had
So
lunch.
it's his fault. No,
Yeah.
that's
So
just,
I had lunch with Danny while I was down there, and he said, Pete, I got to tell you an interesting statistic. He said, we pumped more water out of our wells, in the first quarter of this year than ever.
Mm-hmm.
And he said, what? He said, you know why? A lot of people from New York and New Jersey that have money have bought vacation homes on the Cape.
Yes.
And as soon as COVID hit and they knew they could work from remote, they all bugged out. So anybody with money, so you're talking about poverty and things like that hitting people.
Yeah.
Anybody with money bugged out to their vacation homes on the Cape or on Long Island
Well,
or in the
exactly.
Berkshires. I don't know if you've noticed a lot of New York and New Jersey plates in Massachusetts lately. But he says they've been here since COVID hit in March.
yeah. And so
And they never
bugged
went
out.
home.
They escaped from New York.
They never
and-
went home.
And all of them can do their real jobs from wherever they happen to be sitting. As long
One of
as
them is
there's
named
internet.
one of them is named Snake Plissken, but you know,
Who was that?
Who's that?
Escape from New York,
A sk-
the movie.
Yeah.
You guys have never seen the movie?
No, I know
Wait a
of
minute,
the
wait a
movie,
minute.
but I've
The
never
lead
watched
character is
it.
Snake Plissken.
Well, see, that goes on the list of movies that I'm not going to watch unless I really, really have to.
Escape from New York?
Yeah.
This is the one where the Statue of Liberty, I remember the ad for it, that Statue of Liberty is buried. You just see the top of it. Is that right?
No, that's Planet of the Apes.
Planet of the Apes. Oh.
That's where I thought he was going, and I'm going, nope, that's not the same movie.
That's
Ah,
not the
that's
same
same
movie.
movie.
No,
This
at
is
the very end of it, that's what you see, and they realize that they're, oh my
on
God,
the
we're
Earth.
back on Earth in
yeah,
the future.
Yeah, yeah.
My God, we've blown it up. Wasn't that the last line or something?
Yeah. Snake Biscuit. What is the guy's name?
Plissken.
Pliskin.
Oh,
You know,
I like
you're-
Snake Biscuit.
You know what? You're abusing Ray Herschel's favorite movie.
You're kidding me.
He loves Escape.
Who was
from New
in
York.
Escape from Ken Russell?
Is it Kurt Russell?
Kurt Russell. Ken Russell is the director. Kurt Russell. Yeah. I wonder. Do you know?
I don't know. I still don't. I still have no need to watch
And
Escape from New York.
It's a dystopian. It's a thing in the future.
Where New York is walled off and they got to go save the president.
What year does it take place in? Is it a future one or a...
Well, the movie itself was done in 1981.
Yeah.
The film's storyline, set in the near future world of 1997, concerns a crime-ridden United States, which has converted Manhattan Island, New York City, into the country's maximum security prison. Air Force One is hijacked by insurgents and purposely crashed in New York City. Ex-soldier and current federal prisoner Snake Plissken is given 24 hours to go in and rescue the President of the United States, after which, if successful, Snake will be pardoned.
See,
Pardon Snake Plissken.
I like Snake Biscuit, but
It's
see,
produced by
that-
John Carpenter.
That
Yeah.
description is the perfect reason that
You're not going to see
I'm
it.
not going to go see it. That one goes on the list of.
It was a great movie,
It's
actually.
right next to Creature from the Black Lagoon. You know.
Oh.
No.
Why? Well, of
They
course,
actually made a sequel to it,
have
Escape
you
from LA.
noticed, Have,
Escape from what?
Los Angeles.
Escape
Really?
from Los Angeles. Yeah. Okay.
It was so not scary.
No.
The creature from the
Oh,
Black
no,
Lagoon.
but
It
back
was
in
so
the
not-
day, it
oh,
was-
my
it was-
God.
oh,
I can remember it.
Now-
I remember it when it was in the theater.
Does
at
any-
the Capitol Theater on Main Street in Springfield. I mean, that's how old I am.
Do you remember one of the first Dracula movies called Nosferatu?
Yes. Oh my God. The nails that went out forever. He had nails
Yes.
that were really like 9 inches long, 9-inch nails.
And right now, and Nosferatu, it was spelled out phonetically, whatever, Nosferatu.
yeah,
but
right.
now there's a new series out that it's Nosferatu. It's NS4ATU or something like that. And it's a new series, and it's really scary. I mean, this is really eerie, creepy, scary. It's
Ooh,
it's 7 o'clock, Bob.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. Yes. Thank you. Well, we're going to all watch Escape from New York this week, so we can give a cheer to Snake Biscuit.
Snake Biscuit.
Is his first name with a B? Just so I get it right.
P. Plissken.
Pliskin.
Is that like Limp Biscuit?
Yes, exactly right. Exactly right. Hey, let's, speaking of great song. Oh, there's that damn fly again. Oh, speaking of flies, I killed another 5 this week. Honest to God, they can't. They know I live there now. It's a convention on West 9th Street, wherever I live, West Silver Street.
West 9th Street?
Yeah, I don't know where I live.
You're back in New York.
Yeah. Speaking of, when I go low, I get high. When I get low, I get high is a great song. I played it before here. It's the Speakeasy 3. This is the 645 song, my friend.
I gotcha.
Peter. And when I get low, I get high. This is a great song, incidentally.
Business.
My pockets are empty and my chips are down, but I ain't gonna holler, no, I ain't gonna frown, because when I get low, whoa, I get high. All the bad luck in this town has found me. Nobody knows how trouble goes round and round me.
Whoa, was a ruckus last night. I ended up in jail, but I ain't got to worry. My girl's got my bail. When I get low, whoa, I get high.
I'm all alone when I wanna get me, but all rockin' chair ain't never gonna get me, 'cause when I get low, whoa, I get
Support for community radio on WSKB provided by Westfield Electroplating. Employing over 140 skilled platers, painters, and technicians, Westfield Electroplating was founded in 1946 and was the first company in the country to achieve National Aerospace and Defense Contractor Program accreditation, proudly maintaining that status for over a decade. Westfield Electroplating provides over 50 quality finishes to meet your corrosion, cosmetic, or performance needs. On the web at www.westfieldplating.com or 413-568-3716. Westfield Electroplating, putting the finishing touches on technology.
I'm Mark Auerbach. Join me every Friday at 8 a.m. for ArtsBeat, where you'll meet interesting actors, directors, designers, and musicians here in Western New England.
Community Radio.
89.5 WSKB.
Live from Studio 120 at Westfield Technical Academy, this is WCPC Channel 15 and 89.5 FM, WSKB Westfield.
Wow, it is Tuesday morning, and what is today's date? It's
the 11th. It is
August 11th.
It's on the big monitor up there.
Oh.
The one next to the big clock.
You tell me that every time. I can't remember it. And it's Tuesday, August 11th. Wow, it's Tuesday. Westfield on Weekends weekly show with Bob Plass, myself, right here with trustee Jay Pagluca, who's on his way out. Not of
who
the
sounds,
show.
Who sounds much better in the studio.
On his way out.
Oh, thank you.
On your way to the real job.
On your way to, and that's Peter Cole's Kitten of the Keys there, our producer. Hey, and I think online for the next hour, once Jay, Jay, you say
once
hello
I
to your...
Once I snake out of the building.
Yeah.
Go away, Jay.
Yeah. The
You've
Duke
been
of
replaced.
Dentistry is here. The Duke of Dentistry, direct.
The Duke is here. Can you hear me?
Hey, Doc.
Oh, my gosh, yes. I wish I could see you.
Well, next in September, I'll be present in the studio.
Great,
that would be cool. Okay.
You haven't changed your looks. I mean, you're still the same handsome young man that I've known for years. Am I right?
Actually, I think I've improved.
And he's gotten younger.
That's
yes.
because I'll tell you why, Kevin. You're probably going to your own spa. Am I right?
Yes, I am. I'm having a lot of work done, as they say.
Oh my gosh. Hey, Peter, do you notice that Peter's actually, all we saw was Peter's proboscis.
Excuse me.
Yeah.
I wasn't sure if I had a graphic made up for Kevin. I guess I've been doing them somewhere else.
Yeah, there was a graphic of
I think it was on the other system, though, so I got to bring it over there.
We'll hunt around.
We'll hunt around. But so, Kevin, where are you, incidentally? Which town
I
are you
am
in?
at Ascent Dental Care, Ascent Dental Solutions, and Ascent Laser Aesthetics, located at 250 North Main Street in East Longmeadow. And last week, when we were just picking our boots up from the COVID-19,
right?
We lost electricity for 2.5 days in our East Longmeadow and Longmeadow office.
Yeah.
So
my gosh.
we got another kick in the stomach, but our team bounced back, and we're back to full operation.
I was telling Jay, I had an appointment earlier this week at a regular, yearly checkup. Down at the Bay State Medical Center, and they called me to cancel the appointment because they were not having electricity, and they weren't expecting it for a couple of days, 4 or 5 days. And I thought to myself, geez, that's really dreadful for all these people who have doctor or dental appointments, or as you say, you have to then kind of squeeze them in, as you say. You squeeze in people.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
I think that's probably one of the things that most healthcare professionals are dealing with today. Typically what we're doing is, instead of having patients wait in a reception room,
right,
they're actually waiting in their car to either pick up people who have had minor procedures done, because we don't want family members and friends waiting in the reception room. And this slows down the efficiency and the pace of care and treatment. You're calling people on their cell phone and saying that we're ready to bring you in. And then, there's just a delay. I will say, from an infection control standpoint, our particular situation hasn't changed much. What we were doing pre-COVID, we're still doing COVID. And I see Jay's getting ready to leave.
Oh, you're going to get, yes, yeah.
Oh, Jay, this is not good.
Oh, no, he just walked. He didn't even say goodbye.
He did not even say goodbye, Dr.
Oh, he's coming. No, he's coming back. Apparently he's
coming back.
You're going to see a man about a horse or something, I guess.
I was going to confer with the man behind the window, but geez, I left my laptop here. I can't be going.
Oh.
You have to take your visual cues here, Bob.
Oh, so you're going to go out and make a conference for a minute and leave us alone. Did you want to open your mouth and have the dentist take a good look at it for you?
I can already tell Jay, excellent care. You're in tremendous condition.
All right.
You are he says you're in tremendous condition.
There's a reason we don't do telemedicine for dental.
Considering the
that is
condition
correct.
I'm in.
Do they don't have telemedicine for dental?
How would he inspect your teeth?
Actually, they do, Pete.
Really?
They do have teledentistry.
Tell us.
During the peak of COVID, we fielded calls from 11 to 1 o'clock each day for people who couldn't get into their dental office because that dental office was closed for obvious reasons.
Yes.
We made a decision on whether their treatment was really truly an emergency and they should visit the ER, or whether we could talk them through and hopefully either see our office if it was convenient for them and they were in the area, or try to make a referral to outside areas of other dentists that we knew were open.
I
We
see.
talked about it in the last month's show, but clearly there were two issues. One, you needed a dentist that provided emergency care other than prescriptions and an exam.
Right.
For example, they did periodontal surgery, oral surgery, endodontic surgery. And then you needed their team to be present in the office. If they didn't have staff members, you couldn't be open. So you had two things at work. Fortunately for us, we had 16 individuals who continued to come in every single day and support our organization and the patients that needed care.
Sure.
And I think
Well,
the biggest thing that was accomplished is I estimated that we probably saved over 400 visits to the ER at Bay State Medical Center or Mercy Hospital. Because every one of these individuals that had severe pain, swelling, and infection would have ended up in the ER, which would have put an extra burden on our healthcare system. And quite honestly, in most cases, when you go to the ER for, quote, a dental problem, in most cases, they're calling the dentist on call for the hospital. And all you're doing is tying up the system. You're not really going to get any treatment done.
Interesting. Did any of the people that you talked to on teledentistry open their mouths and try to show you their molar that was infected?
Actually, yes. They gave us screenshots from their phone. But typically, once you find out the location of the problem, the duration of the problem, and you listen to their signs and symptoms, you can make a somewhat accurate diagnosis of whether an ER is necessary or whether they can perhaps just hold off for a few days or see an office that's open.
What do you do if you do have, let's say, a tooth that's bothering you? Is there I think there's some kind of little medication. I see it in the pharmacy where you can put
over the
numbs the
counter,
pain.
you have
What is that? What are those
Ambisol.
things?
Ambisol is a common remedy. A tincture of cloves is also a common solution.
They used cocaine in the old days, I think, right?
Yes, they did, which created other issues. But
right.
at least in the short term, it may have alleviated some of the tooth discomfort. But we also have the ability to sometimes just a little ice on the tooth will decrease the inflammation and buy the patient some time.
But how will you? Because I think, for me, that if I know I have a cavity that's starting to act up, I feel that cavity morning to night, and then, God help me, when the lights go down, somehow or other, the pain is greater in the evening. Now, is that a medical fact that the pain goes up when the sun goes down?
The reason in most cases the pain goes up in the evening is one of the main reasons is the patient is generally in a supine or laying down position. And as you lay down, the pressure builds in your upper and lower jaw because typically the pain is caused by inflammation and infection. And basically what's happening is pus is building up in your upper or lower jaw, and there's no place for that pus to be relieved. It's like a pimple that should be popped. It just builds and builds. And as you lay down, that pressure builds higher and higher. And one of the most common causes is the discomfort from that swelling, which is a buildup of either gases, pus, or a combination of both.
So
And the pain is excruciating. And typically the appropriate treatment is either the extraction of the tooth, or you open a small hole in the tooth, which acts as a vent, and that allows the pus and the gases to disperse. And usually the patient will get close to instant relief.
Yeah, I've noticed that. But I wondered then, okay, if you are, let's suppose you're having pain, you call your doctor, he says, I'll see you in the morning, and I go, I can't exist through the evening, et cetera, et cetera. It might be smart then to lie as if you were having GERD or something and sleep on a triangle or something. I mean, right? With your head up?
That is correct.
Did you know
almost
that?
in a lazy boy position.
So you
wait a minute, what was that? Because
in a lazy boy position, if you have a toothache or a something that is an infection in your mouth.
Yes, I know that.
You knew that?
Well, yeah, because he told me when I had that really bad infection in my molar and I needed a crown and a root canal.
Yeah, that, and I just heard it right here on the radio.
Well,
I've never heard that in my life.
Sometimes when I'm laying
on the radio, it has to be true. Let's agree to that.
Well, when you hear from an authoritative source on the radio, then it is true. No,
thank you very much.
When I have a lot of
it. I don't know if it's deserved. We also purchased in the last few weeks what they call PRP, which stands for plasma-rich protein. And this has been around the
what is it again?
For quite a while.
Wait a minute, Kevin. Say it again. Plasma.
It's called PRP, and basically what we're using is the patient's own blood to stimulate new bone and new tissue growth for people who have infection. Because when you have an infection, you lose tissue and bone.
So you have way too many toys.
One of the ways you're trying to restore that patient is by rebuilding the bone and tissue. And basically, we take a little bit of blood from your arm or your wrist, we spin it down in a centrifuge, and we collect the proteins that stimulate the rebuilding of bone and tissue.
That's pretty cool.
Right now,
but like where do you insert it? I mean, or inject it? Is that how
you can mix it with other particles when you're doing a graft in dentistry or in medicine for that matter. That graft can either be from the patient's own body. We take a little bit of bone or soft tissue from the patient. We can get it from a cadaver. We can get it from an animal source, and we also have artificial sources. And by adding the patient's own proteins that create growth factors, you're getting an improvement in healing, a quicker healing, less postoperative pain and discomfort, and the regeneration of new tissue and bone seems to be significantly improved rather than just leaving Mother Nature to its own regard.
Wow. Will this be the wave of the future that dentists will then be giving you blood that is going to help you to, or something, plasma, whatever it is, something that is going to help your bone, your dental bones to heal?
Yes. Again, I don't want to mislead the public listening. This system isn't necessarily new, but what's new is the ability to incorporate it into a practice much more efficiently and effectively. The entire process takes between 8 and 11 minutes.
Wow.
So
that's cool.
As materials and processes improve, it becomes just generally more cost effective and simpler to apply for patients who need it. Obviously, not every patient needs it, but for those who do, I think it's going to be a boon to our profession. From the laser standpoint, in the last couple of weeks, we purchased what they call a hydrofacial, and we also became certified as PDO sutures, which stands for polydioxane fillers. Basically, what they are is a suture that we can place anywhere in your body. And what it does is it tightens the skin without any surgical protocol. And really a terrific, for individuals who have acne scars, for individuals who have very crepey skin, for individuals who are just trying to tighten and improve the tone and texture of their skin. This is a very unique and simple approach to solve problems. These sutures last approximately 12 to 24 months, depending on the type you're using. And generally, we're placing as few as 2 to 4 and as many as 10 to 20. And basically, it's just a small insertion underneath the epidermis or the outer layer of the skin.
Right.
And you place them under there and think of it as a little line of filler. For those individuals who've had Botox and fillers, this is an approach to augment either or both of those procedures to give a longer lasting and better result.
Isn't that amazing? I mean, like, so Jay and I can come in. You can take a look at my extremely old face,
and,
Jay,
and then run quickly away,
and then look at Jay's and say, the younger, he's headed for this.
And well, actually, as I examine both of you, neither of you need it. I mean, you're very young looking. Okay,
you're quite the diplomat,
Doc. So I think you'd be wasting your time and money.
I look
but
like...
if you show up, believe me, I'll do it.
Hey, listen, I've got to run here, so I apologize for doing a hello and run.
Hey, Jay, just make your. Kevin might have been thinking of going to that Led Zeppelin concert.
Oh, just a quick reminder. We did have to cancel the Led Zeppelin show for later this month, but mostly due to the governor's new order of limiting social outdoor gatherings and stuff. We really didn't want to put any more risk on the community, and it's not worth it right now. So we'll look at spring perhaps and do something.
Gaslight Entertainment,
right?
Jay,
So
is and Jay's sound business. We never ever talk about this, but in case you ever need sound and lights, this is the man to go. No, well, he's one of the men that you could choose.
There's a lot of people around.
But what's the name of that company? We never ever mention it, Jay.
Well, JP's Lighting and Sound.
Right.
Makes sense.
You can find that online, or where do you find that?
No, you find that by pulling up westfieldconcerts.com, and I think there's a link there.
Gotcha.
But
there we have it. So when if you ever want to light your office dramatically. This is it, Kevin. I came up with a whole new kind of dentistry. You're going to light your office dependent on what thing you're going to be doing. So if it's a root canal, it's going to be, there are going to be spooky lighting.
Mood lighting. With LEDs, we can make it any color of the rainbow in there, or it can change depending on, what you're doing and as you're doing it. So
what do you think?
Jay, when I go to your shows out in Westfield, is that your company who's done the lighting, or are those individuals doing their own lighting?
No, that's my lighting.
Wow, terrific. I didn't know that actually until just a few minutes ago.
No, that's a lot of fun. I've been doing that since, the 70s, and you think about how technology has changed from par cans of the 70s, and, if you go back to my early days, 150-watt colored light bulbs. But
And Jay is the one responsible for all the Westfield on Weekends concerts. Many of them are always enhanced with Jay's lighting and sound. And all of our events, including my cabaret shows, et cetera, are all done with JP's lighting. So we really want him to get back so we can light up the town once again.
And to put credit where it's due, there are some bigger shows where we bring some friends of ours, ATC Audio, out of West Springfield too. So small to medium things I can do. If we're getting really, really big, we want to do a big field or something like that. We have lots of contacts. We have people with more toys than me. So
gotcha.
And like I'm hearing the doc talk about new things that they're getting for his business. He's like me. He's just buying new toys for his favorite thing.
Maybe he buys some of your lighting equipment, as I say, to light those root canals in a way, and then the root canal. Somebody enters and maybe it's to keep you in a good mood, and then suddenly the pain, it starts to get red and blue. I don't know. There could be some kind of lighting in your dentistry
and
practice,
music. We can bring music into the room. That soothes the.
What do you think, doctor?
I like Jay's idea of the soothing music. I do believe that helps significantly. Now, the lights, strobe lights to indicate pain level, I don't think would be to my advantage.
I would tend to agree with you.
But maybe other people would disagree.
Oh my God! And you could
Jay,
play.
Congratulations! I did not realize that was your company that put on the actual lights. And the sound. Actually terrific.
You got any more weddings coming up in your life, Doc? This is the man to talk to.
Yeah. Hey, I got to run for now, but I know we'll be talking more later. Enjoy the rest of the show, folks.
Hasta la vista, my friend.
Yes, we'll see you later.
All righty.
Be safe, Jay.
Yeah.
Thanks, sir.
Hey, Doc, why don't we'll take a break here. Why don't we take a break? Hey, I want to play. I want to recommend to you guys to watch on BroadwayHD.com, which you can get for free. There is a documentary. Where's the camera? There we are. There's a documentary called The Girls in the Band. And The Girls in the Band documents all of these incredible female musicians that are out there. I'm talking about this was the 30s, the 40s, the 50s, the 60s, the 70s. Jazz and otherwise, women who played the trumpet, the trombone, the bass, the drums, etc., etc. And when I was growing up, all I can remember was Ina Ray Hutton and her orchestra, which was all female. But there was before her, or around the same time, maybe a little earlier, was something called the International Sweethearts of Rhythm. And they were, it was a band that had all colors of the rainbow in it, and just a beautiful female band that really rocked the joint. And I recommend you're seeing this documentary because some of the women talk about what they went through as women in the music business and what they went through as perhaps women of color in the music industry traveling throughout the country. And it's a real interesting take on race and class and music in America. And so I'm going to play you a song from the International Sweethearts of Rhythm. This is I Left My Man. Now that's Anna Mae Winburn is the head of the orchestra, and she's the one that sings this. This is from 1944. I Left My Man. Anna Mae Winburn and the International Sweethearts of Rhythm.
Support for the community programming of WSKB is provided by Bay State Noble Hospital, a brand new name for a Westfield institution which is improving the health of our community every day with quality and compassion. Noble Hospital and Bay State Health, better together.
Underwriting is brought to you by Boise Cascade Distribution, providing products and services needed for building material dealers, home improvement centers, and industrial customers. They offer everything from engineered wood and plywood to Drex decking and railing, James Hardie siding, and Advantech subfloor. Located at 33 Fowler Street Extension in Westfield and on the web at bc.com, they are committed to providing quality products, great service, convenience, and value.
Support for the community programming of WSKB is provided by Comcast and Xfinity.com, offering Xfinity TV, Internet, home phone, and home security services. Information on all that Xfinity has to offer in the Westfield area is available online at Xfinity.com.
Listen to me, Michael Buster McMahon, Mondays 8 to 10 a.m. to learn the stories behind your favorite songs. Or don't. I'm not the boss of you.
Community Radio.
89.5 WSKB.
Live from Studio 120 at Westfield Technical Academy, this is WCPC Channel 15 and 89.5 FM, WSKB Westfield.
Wow, it is Tuesday morning and it is August 11th, 2020 and counting. This summer is flying by.
Yes, it is.
Flying by. Where did it go, Peter?
I have no idea, but I'm glad I got some vacation time.
Yeah,
honestly.
I'm glad you did too. Did you have any vacation time? Dr. Kevin Coughlin, the Duke of Dentistry, is on the phone. Also, the Duke of making me look younger and more beautiful, if that's possible.
Well, thank you. Thank you very much.
Yeah.
And to answer your question, no, I've had no vacation. It's been a difficult time for all businesses, but in particular small businesses.
Yeah.
So I'm not complaining about it. I've never minded working, but we've been open from 7:30 in the morning till 8 p.m. Monday through Thursday, 7:30 to 5 on Friday, and Saturdays 8 to 1.
Wow.
And the reason
Lots
for
of
that
choices.
is there has been a tremendous backlog of patients who required care but didn't consider emergency treatment, more of elective treatment, and that treatment had been postponed for over 3 months.
Wow.
So one approach was to just simply say, I'm going on vacation and push patients back. And we elected to stay open this particular summer and try to take care of their needs. I think any small business person, anybody who's been self-employed for any length of time realizes that in order to be successful, your customers, your patients, your clients, and your team members need to be present. And that's just the way it is. And if you're not willing to make that commitment, my personal suggestion would be is self-employment's probably not the best route for you to go.
Yeah.
For
Hey, I
those
got a question for you, and because next week I am having my first dental cleaning since probably February or so. Now, I'm a man who, because of my gum situation, my gingivitis and all of that sort of stuff that I had in the past, the insurance pays for me to have a cleaning every 3 months, and it really helps. But I haven't had a cleaning for a good 7, maybe even 8 months now because of COVID. So finally they were able to, my great hygienist was able to squeeze me in. But I wondered, as somebody who has suddenly now been beginning to notice the effects of not having a teeth cleaning. I mean, my dental cavity feels dirty. I've got a. It's just feeling unclean. Oh God, that sounds so awful. Now, every time I open my mouth, I'm going to be affecting people. But doctor, what do those folks who have not had a cleaning do out there to make their mouths feel better?
Well, one of the things they can do is, instead of brushing and flossing once or twice a day, go to 3 or 4 times a day. some at-home remedies that sometimes will decrease the significant bacteria in the mouth is take an 8-ounce glass of water and a couple of capfuls of hydrogen peroxide or baking soda and gargle or rinse with it. A lot of your at-home devices that can be purchased either at your dental office or at any Walmart or CVS or Rite Aids, they have almost like dental-like instruments that you can use.
Like a water pick?
Bosch Alarm, Crest, water pick are devices that are almost like having a professional cleaning done that you could do at home. Those devices range anywhere from $60 to about $110.
Yeah.
And basically what they are is a low-tech dental instrument that can be used at home. So the combination of hydrogen peroxide, baking soda, increase the duration and intensity of your at-home hygiene approaches. And some of these over-the-counter rotary instruments, water flossing instruments will help decrease the bacteria in your mouth. And probably one of the biggest things that anyone could do is watch the diet. Typically, the more processed the foods are, the stickier, the higher the sugar content, the greater the likelihood you're going to have increased bacteria and dental disease.
I see.
Those,
yeah, and they produce. We need to talk about plaque, because isn't that what I'm going in for when I get my teeth cleaned? Is the removal of plaque?
Correct.
Generally within PLAQUE, is that correct?
Correct.
Yeah. What is it?
Basically, it's a film of bacteria. The analogy that I use in the office is those people who are boaters. If you've ever pulled your boat out of the water, whether it's fresh or salt water at the end of the season, below the water line where the boat settles, you'll see tremendous amounts of barnacle, debris, and bacteria accumulate on the boat because you don't see it and you can't clean it. And what happens is those microorganisms stick to the fiberglass of the boat or the wood of the boat, and they're very difficult to remove. In the oral cavity, in the mouth, this bacteria creates a film almost like a glue. It can be removed within 24 to, let's say, 48 hours.
Yeah.
If it hasn't been disrupted in that first 24 to 48 hours, it becomes calcified. We no longer consider it plaque.
So it turns to calculus. So plaque turns to calculus.
Correct.
That
and
dreaded
the calculus generally can't be removed by a patient on their own. In most cases, you need a dental hygienist or a dentist to scrape those accretions that accumulate on your fillings, on your teeth, on the roots of the teeth.
And these are below the gum line, basically.
Yes.
We're talking
and
below the gum line.
that's basically what causes most of the damage for the public. Above the gum line, the average patient sees it, and whether they use a toothpick, whether they're using a toothbrush, they try to scrape it or remove it.
Right.
But under the gum line, they really have no idea that it's going on. They can't see it.
Yeah.
They know their gums bleed. They know their gums look a little swollen, red, and inflamed, but they actually don't know what the cause is. But if you could push the tissue away from the tooth, you would see these accretions of plaque and calculus that are creating inflammation. That inflammation creates bone loss, and it's the bone loss that causes the loss of teeth and requires you to have periodontal surgery, which basically is a fancy way of saying we're going to remove this bacteria that's causing the problem. So when you're seeing a periodontist, a dental hygienist, or a dentist, really the ultimate goal is to remove that bacterial film. They've been working on vaccines to do this. They've been working on oral rinses. There's a variety of different techniques, but at this point, all have been unsuccessful.
Well, it would seem because it's under the the majority of it is below the gum line, right? So
correct.
You've got to somehow get down, and a rinse doesn't really do it, does it?
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's why when they say a water pick, Generally, for the public, a water pick removes gross, loose food debris,
Yeah.
but it doesn't remove the sticky accretions that have stuck to the tooth. The water is just not powerful enough.
Right.
You need some kind of friction, some kind of device that actually scrapes that material off the teeth.
How
That
often do you go for a cleaning? What's a regular? I mean, I'm on a 3 month schedule, but
Right.
what the average bear?
If you ask me, I'm not sure why the insurance companies determined for the dental profession that you should have your teeth cleaned every 6 months and your eyes examined every 2 years.
Yeah.
But fortunately for the dental profession, from a financial standpoint, the insurance companies are really dictating the care and treatment. Obviously, if you had a guest on, they'd say, we're just offering to pay for 2 cleanings. We never said that 2 cleanings a year was the right or the standard of care.
Yes.
We've just agreed to pay for it. In reality, we know that if we can disrupt that bacteria, that plaque, that calculus every 90 days or every 3 months from a therapeutic standpoint, that's significantly better than
Right.
every 6 months.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
in the real working world, I would say every day, at least a half a dozen times, patients will say, hey, Dr. Kaufman, I'm only coming in twice a year because that's what insurance pays for. Dr.
Yeah.
Kaufman, I'm only doing this because this is what insurance pays for. And in my personal opinion, so long as you understand the ramifications, it's a free country, you make your decisions.
Sure.
But I think if you thought about it logically, you'd probably want to do what your healthcare provider says rather than what your insurance company says.
Interestingly enough, that you're the first dentist that I've ever heard tell me, because I always thought that the regimen was, oh, you get your teeth cleaned every 6 months. Not the insurance company tells me that, because I didn't know the primo time that you get your teeth cleaned. That's a really interesting thing, that the optimum, if you can afford it, it would be to have it done every 3 months. And
Correct.
sometimes there are situations like my situation that the insurance company, they had to justify a 3 month cleaning to the insurance company. Now tell me how, really, that's something else, huh?
It is, but that's basically the standard of care today.
Yeah.
I could tell you that yesterday I worked from 7:30 in the morning till 8 p.m. I saw at least 22 different insurance companies in my office. Every single company paid a different amount for the exact same treatment.
Oh.
And many times the public doesn't really understand it, or they understand it and just sort of say, well, it doesn't affect me. But in actuality, it affects every person because they're being dictated to non-healthcare providers. I mean, it's almost comical when you think of it. They're telling me what they want because their insurance company told them what they're paying for. And I go, look, I'm a realist. I'm a business person.
Yes.
I understand there is a cost. But quite honestly, you should probably listen to the people who are in healthcare rather than the people who aren't in healthcare. But in today's society, my personal opinion is more people go with what the insurance company says rather than what their healthcare provider says.
Unbelievable. And they
all you
actually,
can simply do is educate, inform, and at the end of the day, the money usually talks. And if it's not, I won't say affordable, because most people who are driving to my office are coming in a car that costs them between $15,000 and $50,000. So
There
we
you go.
know that the dollars are there for healthcare.
Yeah.
It's just you'd rather not spend them.
Yeah,
So-
it's a really good thing. I'm going to say that the regimen should be every 90 days
Correct.
for
And
a
for the
cleaning, if you
listeners-
can afford it, at least.
Right. The listeners also, I would say, just from my own close to 40 years in this profession, there's about 5 to maybe 10% of the public that I see that
Right.
don't even need a cleaning every 6 months. They have no periodontal disease. They have no bone loss.
Right.
Their mouth is immaculately clean. They have no fillings.
Right.
Their bite and orthodontic condition is good. And quite honestly, they probably could get by clinically with maybe an exam and a cleaning once a year.
Wow.
But In most cases, people say, geez, if my insurance company is going to cover it, and I don't want to mislead the listeners.
Right.
Most people just assume that when they go to have their teeth cleaned, like you every 3 months,
Right.
I would hope that that dentist and that dental hygienist is doing an oral cancer screening. They may be taking your blood pressure and pulse. There's more to going to the dentist today than just looking at the teeth. And many times the dental office may be doing those things, and other times they're not. If you don't have enough time to take a blood pressure and a pulse, if you don't have enough time to do an oral cancer screening, because your appointment's 10 or 20 minutes or 30 minutes in length,
right,
then part of that oral care, that medical portion of the dental is being omitted, and that could be a factor in your long-term overall health. So I particularly, at Ascent Dental, we screen. Are you a smoker? Did anyone in your family have oral cancer? If the answers to those two questions, along with more than 2 ounces of alcohol on a daily basis, are all positive, I really think from just a quick screening, you should probably have an oral cancer exam. That is lateral views of the tongue, floor of the mouth, back of the throat, and depending on the office, there are generally a number of devices that can screen for precancerous lesions. The most common one is called the Velscope. And basically, it illuminates precancerous tissue in the mouth that would not be noticeable to the naked eye. All of that should be, in my opinion, part of a dental hygiene visit. But if that dentist and dental hygienist don't have those devices, that training, or the time to do it, then that's a part of your oral health that's missing. And I think for people who say, Dr. Coughlin, I have an upper and a lower denture, I have no teeth, there's absolutely no reason for me to come in and have my mouth examined.
Yeah.
They're totally missing the health aspects of an oral cancer screening, because typically people who have oral cancer, many times they are missing one or more teeth in their mouth, and usually will have a removable device in their mouth. So it's just that lack of knowledge and information that, quote, the patient or consumer isn't aware of. So if you've been going to your dentist every 3 months, they're not taking a blood pressure, not taking a pulse, they're not doing an oral cancer screening.
I'm going to check it. Yeah.
That doesn't mean it's a bad office.
No.
It just means, in my opinion, my own personal opinion, they're miseducating the public.
Well, Doc, don't you think
to a dental cleaning than just scraping the teeth?
So it might be for us, if that's not happening when you go to a hygienist, you might say to her, could you
do an oral cancer screening
and make it a regular thing? And that might be really important. Yeah. Hey, Doc, that's great information. So basically, I'm going to play a song, believe it or not, by the formerly known as, I'm playing all women today, all great female artists. The female group that has been making news is the Dixie Chicks, who have changed their name, thank God, to the Chicks. And they've got a new album out, and it's
another
really
person that's given in to the cancel culture mob.
All right, there. I knew we'd get that statement.
It's true.
Okay, but the Chicks now, they're known as the Chicks, and
that's offensive to chicks.
Chickens. They're called the Chickens, perhaps. I don't know. But we're playing their song, which is Gaslighter, which gaslight is a term from an old movie called Gaslight, where a man tries to convince his wife that she's going crazy. Sort of like maybe what the insurance companies or sometimes our government does to us. Gaslighter, but this refers to love. It's called Gaslighter by the Chicks.
See, Mr. Potato Head has a car and boat trailer, and there's a shopping trailer for his wife.
3, 2, 1.
I swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. So help me.
Gaslighter, denier, doing walk away. You think it's justifiable, I think it's pretty cruel, and you know you lie best when you lie to you. 'Cause boy, you know exactly what you did on my boat, and boy, that's exactly why you ain't coming home. Save your tired stories for you knew someone else, 'cause they're lies. Look out, you little gaslighter, denier, doing anything to get your ass farther. Gaslighter, big timer, repeating all of the mistakes of your father. Gaslighter, you broke me. You're sorry, but where's my apology? Gaslighter, you liar. Just had to start a fire, had to start a fire. Couldn't take yourself on a road a little higher. Had to burn it up, had to tear it down. Tried to say I'm crazy, babe, we know I'm not crazy. That's you gaslighting. You're a liar. Oh honey, that's you gaslighting. You made your bed and then your bed caught fire. Gaslighter, I'm your mirror, standing right here until you can see how you broke me. Yeah, I'm broken. You're still sorry and there's still no apology.
Support for community radio on WSKB provided by Westfield Electroplating. Employing over 140 skilled platers, painters, and technicians, Westfield Electroplating was founded in 1946 and was the first company in the country to achieve National Aerospace and Defense Contractor Program accreditation, proudly maintaining that status for over a decade. Westfield Electroplating provides over 50 quality finishes to meet your corrosion, cosmetic, or performance needs. On the web at www.westfieldplating.com or 413-568-3716. Westfield Electroplating, putting the finishing touches on technology.
Join me, Tina Gorman, each week from 6 to 8 a.m. for Wake Up Wednesday, when my guests and I discuss health, wellness, and lifestyle reimagined.
Community Radio.
89.5 WSKB.
Live from Studio 120 at Westfield Technical Academy, this is WCPC Channel 15 and 89.5 FM, WSKB Westfield.
Wow, it is Tuesday morning. If I could put the microphone, what do you call these headphones? I'll learn that. If I could put
someday,
them on
Bob,
safely.
you'll learn that.
Someday I'll learn it. You notice how curly my hair is today?
I noticed.
I actually had a haircut. I told you. Did I talk about this last week? Did I have a haircut?
I think so, yes.
Yeah. So now I have a haircut, and
Did you get a perm?
No, what are you kidding? This is real. I'm not going. I look like my Aunt Mary.
So if you got a haircut, why is your hair still so long?
Because I wanted it to be. I mean, I wanted. I'm going.
I mean, it is a bad frizz day. I know that.
It's a
humidity day.
Oh, it's a very bad humidity day. No, I discovered that my hair was curly. And like it was in the 60s, so I've decided to have curly hair.
Okay.
And so the stylist, my brother, my sister, my spouse, my friends all go to this fabulous stylist, took my look that looked sort of like Bozo the Clown and sort of put it together for me. And there it is.
It's really not that bad, Bob.
Yeah. Kevin, when you see me live, I now look like Shirley Temple. No, what's the woman name? The Little Orphan Annie meets your maiden aunt.
Handsome as always, Bob. Handsome as always.
Thank you. Yeah, I'm old and handsome, but hey, did you know I saw this on Kelly and Ryan last week? There is something known as mask mouth. Did you hear about this?
Are you serious?
Mask mouth. Apparently, wearing a mask is creating dental problems for many people, including
because you keep your teeth stay moist all the time, and that promotes that. I think that would promote plaque growth.
I don't know. I want to ask the doc. What do you think?
Well,
Have you heard of this mask mouth?
Well, one of the things that you see with the mask, and keep in mind that for most offices, most dental offices that I'm
Right.
aware of,
Right.
the employees and the doctors are wearing a mask all the time. You know, prior to COVID, I wore a mask, and all of my colleagues in my organization, and I would think most dental offices would be following that protocol even prior to COVID. If
Mhm.
they weren't, they probably should for the protection of themselves and
Right.
for clients and patients. But one of the things that you see is there's moisture that accumulates, as Pete was referring to, around the commissures or the sides of the lip. So when you look
Commissures.
at yourself in the mirror, the edges of your upper and lower lip meet. That's called the vermilion border. And in those areas, moisture collects, and many times you'll get what they call chelosis, which is basically a crusting and a scabbing because that tissue is constantly moist and the mask is covering it and it's not getting air, and you get a little infection.
Oh.
Uh, and the actual bruxism that you wanted to talk about today, or the
Yeah.
clenching of your teeth,
Yeah.
has definitely been made worse because people are genuinely nervous and concerned about catching COVID. I know just in my own practice on a day-to-day basis, you clearly can see that Mr. and Mrs. Smith aren't comfortable being in the office. They're there because they have a problem and they know they need it taken care of.
Yeah.
But they're clenching, they're grinding, they're nervous.
Yeah.
They're concerned about their own health, and they're concerned about perhaps bringing something home to their family members, whether
Mhm.
that be young children or elderly parents. So that bruxing or clenching, which when you have the mask on, you don't realize it, but you're just biting down on your teeth, and it creates jaw problems, which many times are generically referred to as temporomandibular joint dysfunction
Right.
or TMJ issues.
Right. Right. Hey,
Uh,
Doc, the anxious people also. I used to do this when I was anxious. My singing teacher used to point it out, and she would make me more anxious, and so I bite my tongue.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Is that a common thing, and does that create any kind of dental issue or tongue issue?
Doesn't
Or
really create anytime there's chronic trauma on any part of the body, but in particular in the oral cavity because the tissues turn over so quickly. If you cut your arm, generally in 10 to 14 days, it heals.
yeah, right.
You cut something in your mouth, and the turnover rate of the tissue is much quicker. Usually it heals in 2 or 3 days. And because that tissue is so active and is healing and regenerating so quickly, those tissues are more prone to precancerous lesions. So if you're chronically irritating your tongue by biting it, you're chronically irritating the insides of your cheek because you're biting it.
Mhm.
Generally, those tissues go through a variety of different phases, but for simplicity purposes, it goes from normal to precancer to cancer. And that occurs
So
in
how do you?
anywhere of the body.
Yeah. So how do you stop? Do you stop your kid from biting his lip, or I mean his tongue, or,
Well,
how
when
do
you're
you do?
talking with children or adults, there are a variety of appliances that could be inserted in the mouth that prevent those tissues from being irritated. Keep in mind that you got to wear them, and that's where the rub comes in.
Yeah.
Most young kids won't wear it. Many of these appliances were developed for the avoidance of orthodontic conditions. Many times, an overactive tongue in a young child creates malocclusions or orthodontic issues. That tongue is one of the strongest muscles in the human body.
Uh-huh.
Constantly, what they call tongue thrusting, moving forward
Yeah,
for a
yeah.
variety of reasons,
Yeah.
it pushes the teeth forward. And once the teeth go forward, then the tongue has a bigger space to go, and that creates more and additional orthodontic problems.
I get it, Doc. We got to talk more about this tongue.
Yeah, let's do it in September.
We'll do it. You're going to be
And I'll
here
be in the studio.
and I can stick my tongue out at you.
Yes, thank you very much.
Yeah.
Hey, I had a great show today.
Yeah.
I can't say enough to you, Pete and Jay, for having me on.
The
I hope
Duke of
listeners
Dentistry.
got something out of it.
Yeah, well, I think you had
so
a great
much.
Duke of Dentistry, Dr. Kevin Coughlin from Ascent Dental, and Ascent is spelled like a rising, ASCENT, dentalsolutions.com, and Ascent Dental. Whatever.
Ascent Dental Care is
Right.
my dental office.
Right.
Ascent Dental Solutions is my consulting business, and Ascent Laser Aesthetics is my non-surgical approach to trying to keep people beautiful on the outside, and their job is to keep themselves beautiful on the inside.
Oh, great. I love that. Be safe, Doc, and we'll see you next week or next month in September. And for all you folks out there, I'm going to play a song from the Queeby Sisters. They're YouTube them. They're really great. This is called Every Which Way. I think I've played it before, but I love this song. Every Which Way, the Queeby Sisters.
1, 2, 3. Every which way I look, I see your face before me. Every which way I talk, I always call your name. I'm walking down a one-way street, trying to forget. But after all these lonely years, I find I love you yet. Every which way I turn, it seems you're right beside me. Every which way I go, it seems you're going too. I hope someday you'll realize our love was meant to be. And every which way you love, I hope that love is me. Every which way I look, I see your face before me. Every which way I talk, I always call your name. Every which way I turn, it seems you're right beside me. Every which way I go, it seems you're going too. Every which way I look, I see your face before me. Every which way I talk, I always call your name. I walk down one street, try hard to forget. But after all these lonely years, I find I love you yet. Every which way I turn, it seems you're right beside me. Every which way I go, it seems you're going too. I hope someday you'll realize our love was meant to be. And every which way you love, I hope that love is me. Every which way you love, I hope that love is me.
The Quavy Sisters.
We're on Country Road TV YouTube channel.
Yeah.